sumagot. Makiki-open po, ng mic po pala. Makiki-open po ng ating mga camera. Okay, somebody po, please inform me kung ano po yung ating last topic na diniscuss. Sa mga may module po, hanggang saan po tayo nakarating? Last Monday. Sige, go ahead, yung nag-raise po ng hand. Sino pong nag-raise ng hand? Anong part po ang ating natapos last time? Anyone po? Miss Eliza? Miss Eliza, anong natapos natin last meeting?
Natapos po tayo sa analysis of heat transfer problems, tas nag-solve po tayo ng problem 1 at problem 2 po.
Okay, then I ask you to solve problem 3.
Okay.
Okay, so anyone po who wants to share solution to example 3 po? Example 1.3. Sino po ang mga nag-solve? Ay, ang aking palang tablet. Volunteer po. Sino po ang nag-solve na example 1.3? Please raise your hand. Okay, Ivan. Ivan, you're the first to raise your hand. Can you please show to the class your solution to our example 1.3? You may share your screen. Nasaan si Ivan?
Hello po, ma'am. Am I audible po?
Yes, but nothing is shared. You share your solution.
Kita na po ba, ma'am?
Sa akin, bunso, ay wala pa. Sa inyo ba? Ayan, na ngayon po nag-share. Sige, please discuss your solution. Sige, palagay mo po ng konti-otot. Ayan, okay na.
Example number 1.3. An uninsulated steam pipe passes through a room in which the air and walls are at 25 degrees Celsius. The outside diameter of the pipe is 75 millimeter, and its surface temperature and emissivity are at 200 degrees Celsius and 0.85 respectively. What are the surface emissive power and irradiation if the convection heat transfer coefficient is 20 watts per square meter Kelvin? What is the rate of heat loss from the surface if the pipe is 2.5 meter long? First po is yung sa atin pong methodology, known po is yung uninsulated steam pipe with prescribed dimensions, surface temperature, and convection heat transfer coefficient in a room with air and wall temperature. And sa atin pong find is yung emissive power po, yung E, and irradiation. And last na hinahanap po natin is yung ating rate of heat loss in the pipe. Sa atin pong schematic diagram naman po, makikita po natin is yung atin pong diameter ng pipe which is 0.075. Yung length po ng pipe which is 2.5 meters po. Yung surface temperature po natin which is 200 degrees Celsius. Yung ating pong emissivity na 0.85. And nabanggit rin po na ang temperature ng air at wall is at 25 degrees Celsius. And yung ating convection heat transfer coefficient naman po is 20 watts per square meter Kelvin. And sa atin pong assumption is siya po is steady state condition. In-assume din po natin na black body po yung ating problem since wala pong ibang binigay na, wala pong absorptivity na binigay. So, in-assume po natin na black body.
Excuse me, let me correct that one, because there is emissivity of 0.85, so it's not a black body anymore. When we talk of equal values of emissivity and absorptivity, your assumption should be it is a gray surface.
Gray surface.
Okay, gray body, okay? So,
Okay,
correct that one, hindi black body kasi may emissivity na 0.85. Okay, continue.
And last po is, yung assumption po natin is the radiation heat exchange is between a small body enclosed in a large surrounding po. And doon naman po sa ating analysis, yung una po natin hahanapin is yung emissive power. May formula na emissivity times yung ating
Stefan Boltzmann constant.
Yeah, Stefan Boltzmann constant po. Times the temperature of surface raised to 4 is equal to 0.85 times yung Stefan Boltzmann constant po natin na 5.67 times 10 raised to negative 8 watts per square meter Kelvin to the 4th times yung ating pong temperature ng surface which is 200, then plus yung 273 po para po maging absolute temperature, and mag-i-equal po siya sa 2,412.384601 watts per square meter. And sa irradiation po natin, yung Stefan Boltzmann constant times the temperature of surrounding raised to 4 is equal to 5.67 times 10 raised to negative 8 watts per square meter Kelvin to the 4th times 25 yung ating temperature ng surrounding plus 273, and then raised to 4 is equal to 447.1447286 watts per square meter. And lastly, para naman po mahanap yung ating rate of heat loss, kinuha ko muna po yung area which is pi times yung outer diameter times length is equal to pi times 0.075 meter times 2.5 meter is equal to 0.5890486.225 meters squared. And then, para po mahanap yung ating pong rate of heat loss, pinag-add po natin yung rate of heat loss ng radiation and convection. Ang formula po is emissivity times Stefan Boltzmann constant times yung area po times Ts raised to the 4 minus T surrounding raised to 4 plus H times A times quantity Ts minus T ng fluid po is equal to 0.85 times 5.67 times 10 raised to negative 8 watts per square meter Kelvin to the 4 times yung ating pong area times 473 raised to 4 minus 298. Parehas po absolute po siya, Kelvin, plus 20 watts per square meter Kelvin times 200 minus 25 is equal to 3,258.8005117 watts. And yung comment po is, although po ang temperature difference for conduction and convection can either be in degrees Celsius or Kelvin, pero pag sa radiation po, the temperature must be in absolute or Kelvin po. Yun ang po.
Okay, thank you. Any comments po sa kanyang solution? Ano, Otoy, ang value mo ng E ulit?
Yung value ko po ng E is
2,412. Okay, and then yung ating G, yung ating GI?
447.
Okay, and then the Q is 3,258.
Yes po.
Okay, so thank you for your presentation of the solution to our example 1.3. So yung comment niyang nilagay is on the use of degree Celsius and Kelvin. Again, kapag linear difference lang, we talk of conduction and convection, you may not convert it into Kelvin. However, if it is radiation, you have to convert first the temperature to Kelvin before raising it to the fourth power. May comment lang ako kanina doon, Utoy, sa cancellation mo ng Kelvin. Kasi nasa loob yung basta merong isang kang kinancel na dapat ay Kelvin to the fourth. Pero ang iyong Kelvin ay outside naman doon sa, lagay mo lang ay Kelvin, hindi naka-raise sa fourth power. So, tingnan yung mabuti yon dahil minsan, cancel tayo kay cancel, hindi naman pala dapat i-cancel. Pero dapat i-cancel yung sa inyo dahil watt per meter Kelvin to the fourth, watt per square meter Kelvin to the fourth, yung ating Stefan Boltzmann constant, and then yung ating temperature difference, Ts to the fourth minus Tsur to the fourth. So dapat ang kanyang unit na ay Kelvin to the fourth pareho. Kaya pag sinubtract natin, pareho silang Kelvin to the fourth. Okay? Another comment po na pwede nyong ilagay is kung separately natin dinetermine yung radiation at saka convection, and then you may comment kung halimbawa ay ang na-compute natin ay super liit nung isa compared to the other one. But here in our example, if you are going to find separately yung values nila, it is around 2062 and the other is 1197. Kaya medyo dikit lang yung values, kaya hindi nyo siya pwedeng i-neglect. Kung medyo maliit yung isang mode ng heat transfer compared to the other one, you may say that that particular mode of heat transfer can be neglected since it is very small as compared to the other mode of heat transfer. Okay? Yun ay sa mga ibang cases lang. Another thing that you can put in your comment is when you try to evaluate the value of our radiation heat transfer coefficient. If you recall in our previous meeting, I expressed the formula or the governing equation for radiation heat transfer using the difference na lang na Ts minus Tsur. Yung finactor out natin, yung Ts to the fourth minus Tsur to the fourth. Tapos naging Ts squared plus Tsur squared times Ts squared minus Tsur squared. And then further, pwede ko palang i-share ang aking screen. Let me share my screen para makita nyo rin yung aking sinasabi. Ito, So, ayan po yung aking sinasabing values. Ito yung comparison ng convection at saka radiation. Tapos ito po, pwedeng yan yung ilagay nyo sa inyong comment. So, you can evaluate kung ano yung value ng radiation heat transfer coefficient using this formula that we derived last time by making the equation for Q radiation similar to that of our Q convection, in a manner that the temperature difference will just be linear in the form of Ts minus Tsur. Okay? Isa pang comment kanina, Utoy, sa solution mo. You use Ts also doon sa 25 degrees Celsius. It should be temperature of air. So you use T infinity as our symbol. Okay? Sige. Punta tayo sa next part ng ating discussion. Doon tayo sa ating module. You may open the module that you have. Hindi mo na ako mag-share dito. Dito ako sa kabilang device mag-share. So, ang next topic natin would be the conservation of energy requirement. Okay? You have there in your module on page 15 the discussion of such conservation of energy requirement. Wait lang po. Let me share yung PowerPoint presentation. Okay, ito yung discussion natin. May mga writings na lang, na-save ko kasi hindi ko na nabura. Ano ba yung conservation of energy requirement? So in our discussion, we will be talking of conservation of energy on a controlled volume and on a controlled surface. And also, we will be talking of at an instant time t and over a time interval delta t. So ano ba yung pinagkaiba nung dalawang yan? So pag sinabi natin control volume, we are talking of the volume, no? Kung siya ay wall, ay di kasama yung composition ng ating wall, no? It's not only on the surface of the wall. Kung surface lang, it's either on the inner surface or the outer surface. Pero kung pinag-usapan natin ay control volume, di kasama yung thickness ng ating wall. Okay? Yung area times yung kanyang thickness. Okay, so this is just a representation of the conservation of energy for a closed system over a time interval and for a control volume at an instant time t. So yung pag sinabi natin at an instant time t, we are actually talking of rate, no? So the heat rate. But when we talk of over a time interval delta t, di ba pag sinabi nating rate, it is per unit time. So when you define that particular time interval, for example, sinabi natin ng for 10 seconds or say for 5 minutes, so kung ang heat rate ay per unit time, when you multiply it by time, now we will be talking of the amount, no? The amount of heat. Okay? So yun po yung pinagkaiba. But again, I mentioned most of our discussion and the problem analysis that we will be considering would be the heat rate. Pero pag may binigay ng specific time, then dapat alam natin na ang tinatanong sa atin ay amount, or we are talking of over a time interval delta t. Okay? So ano yung mga nakasulat dito sa ating slide? So ito pong nandito sa left side, ayan po yung ating consideration kapag ka siya ay lakihan lang po natin. May kulay ba ito? Okay. Ito yung ating mga i-consider kung siya ay sabi po natin ay over a time interval delta t. So later I'll be showing the slide for the statement. But this one on the right side is ito po yung ating at an instant time t. If you notice, sa symbol pa lang na ginagamit natin, makikita mo na, ano? Kasi nga rate, kaya nilalagyan natin ng mole. So yung pong ating energy in ay di E in, meron pong mole. So ito pong nasa right side ng ating figure, we are talking here of rate. Okay? The rate of inflow, the rate of energy generated, the rate of stored energy, and the rate of the outflow. Okay? While on the left side, we are talking of the amount of heat, the amount of work or energy out, and then we have here the change or the difference in the amount of the stored energy. Okay. Now, what is then the statement of that at an instant time t? If you notice, meron po tayo ditong apat. Ano? Yung ating energy in, energy generated, energy stored, at saka energy out. So the energy balance statement is that the rate at which thermal and mechanical energy enters a control volume plus the rate at which the thermal energy is generated within the control volume minus the rate at which the thermal and mechanical energy leaves the control volume must equal the energy stored. Ating statement. So kung ita-translate po natin siya into mathematical equation, sabi po ay the rate of, akin na lang pong, paano ba siya palakihin? Ba't siya lumiit? Lumiit po kasi yung size, baka hindi nyo makita. Ano? So sabi po natin is the rate of inflow plus the rate of energy generation minus the rate of outflow should be equal to the rate of stored energy. So yan po yung ating equation. So later, we will discuss kung ano po ba yung apat na yan. Okay? So ito rin po yun yung ating aking sinabi, no? Tinulat ko lang po para Naintindihan po natin. Okay. So, what are inflows, outflows, energy generated, and the stored energy? So, yun pong ating inflows. Andyan din po sa inyong module. Ano? Let me check po kung andito. Ay, ito po. Okay? Now, the inflow po and the outflow are surface phenomena. Okay? Pag sinabi po nating surface phenomena, di sa surface po natin makikita. And the amount is proportional to the surface area. They are associated exclusively with processes occurring at the control surface. Now, what are the options natin? So, titingnan natin kung ano ba yung available. Is there a conduction heat transfer? Is there convection? Is there radiation? Are there internal kinetic potential forms or work interactions occurring at the system boundaries? So, yun po yung mga possible nating tingnan kung ano po yung inflows at saka outflow. Again po, remember that they are surface phenomena. Now, the energy generation, on the other hand, is associated with the conversion from some other form such as chemical, electrical, electromagnetic, or nuclear into thermal energy. And take note that energy generation is a volumetric phenomenon. That is, it occurs within the control volume and it is proportional to the magnitude of this volume. So the formula that we use for energy generation is your Q mole times the volume. So Q mole can be yung conversion or rate at which it is converted from some other forms into the thermal energy. And normally it is expressed in watts per cubic meter. So you need to multiply it with the volume. Sabi nga po natin, it is a volumetric phenomenon, which means that the value is proportional to the magnitude of that volume. Okay? So ayun po yung ating energy generated. Then the fourth character is the energy stored. So energy stored, andun po siya sa right side ng ating energy balance. Okay? So andun po yung ating property. If you recall, last Monday, or the other meeting pa po, diniscuss natin yung volumetric heat capacity. And we define that to be the ability of the material to store thermal energy. Kaya po yung formula natin ng stored energy, that is rho Cp times the volume times the change in temperature with respect to time. Okay? So ang time po na factor ay andito po sa stored energy. No? So, pag sinabi po natin na steady state condition, it means that the temperature change is unaffected by time. Therefore, the stored energy is equal to 0. No? Kaya po nilalagay natin sa ating assumption na steady state condition. Kung minention po sa atin sa problem or kung wala naman pong nakasulat sa problem that the temperature change is affected by time or hindi naman po hinahanap yung time, then or yung ating temperature, rate of temperature change, then we will be assuming that it is steady state, which means that the right side of the equation would be equal to 0. Okay? So, ayun po yung ating 4 terms in our energy balance. Again, energy inflow and energy outflow are surface phenomena, while energy generated and stored energy are volumetric phenomena. So, ibig sabihin, kung pinag-uusapan lang natin ay, say, outer surface of a plane wall, wala po tayong energy stored at walang energy generated. It is only the energy in and your energy out on the surface. Okay? Pero kung pinag-usapan po natin ay, say, yung buong wall, no? So, there could be energy generated and stored energy. So sa atin pong energy balance, no, sa atin pong energy balance na sinulat ko po kanina yung energy in or rate of inflow minus the rate of outflow plus the rate of energy generated is equal to the rate at which the energy is the rate of change of the stored energy. Ito pong ating formula na ito. Kailan ba magkakaroon ng increase in the stored energy? There would be increase in this part if the sum of these two is greater than your energy out. Tama? Na? So, yun po yung mangyayari. Okay, sorry class, nawala po ang internet. Wait po. Let me rejoin. Okay, nasaan ba ako kanina? Nawala tuloy. Ay, hindi pala ito. Sorry, Bunso. Sorry po, mga anak. Ito po palang isa ang ating dinidiscuss. Okay, so again po, I was saying na there would be an increase in the stored energy if the sum of energy in and energy generated is greater than the energy out. However, there would be a decrease in the stored energy if your energy out is higher than that of the sum of energy in and energy generated. And again, if it is a steady state, then this energy stored would be equal to 0. Okay? So, ayun po yung ating energy balance. Now, we proceed po to the next one. Ang sunod po natin is yung sa over a time interval delta T. So again po, yung over a time interval delta T, we are talking of the amount. So yung lahat po ng word na rate doon sa at an instant time T, papalitan lang po natin ng amount because we define already the time. Okay? So kung define na po yung time, kung siya ay rate, you just multiply it by time, so that is the amount. No? So ang atin pong energy balance ay hindi na po rate, wala na po siyang mole. It would be yung energy in plus energy generated minus your energy out would be equal to the change in the amount of stored energy. Ayan na po yung ating magiging equation. Okay po? So that is for the control volume. Now, we talk of the surface energy balance. So ito naman po yung sa surface. So you imagine the wall of your room. Okay? Yung ating pong wall. But then we will only consider yung either yung outer surface or yung inner surface. Take note po na kapag po tayo ay gumamit ng control volume or ng control surface, you have to indicate na yun po yung ating kinukonsider by placing yun pong ating dash lines. Ano, kita nyo po dyan sa ating figure. So, dito po sa ating figure, we are considering po yung surface po na ito. Ito pong surface na ito. Ano? Kaya po yan ay naka-dash line. Ay, nakakasura naman ito. Ayaw po siyang ito kaya. Pag ba yun? Ay, naku, napindot ko pa. Ano? So, yun. Kailangan po nating ilagyan ng dash line. So, naka-state din naman po yun nung diniscuss po natin yung schematic. So, kapag ka may schematic diagram, you need to show kung alin po yung surface or yung control volume that we are considering by using this dash line. Now, if you look at the figure, obviously, we will be utilizing that particular surface. Bakit po? Bakit po ma'am hindi yung sa surface na meron pong T1? Dalawa naman po yung surface. Bakit po yan po ang ating pinili? Obviously, yan po yung pipiliin nating nasa surface na naka-expose po sa fluid at saka sa surroundings. Because there are information given. Ito po kasi sa side na ito, wala naman pong binigay. Pero kung meron pong binigay dito sa side na ito, you have to determine alin ba yung may data na meron akong mai-evaluate na tinatanong doon sa ating heat transfer problem. Doon ka mag-start. No? Kung halimbawa sabi, itong surface na ito ay naka-expose sa hot gas. No? While the other surface naman po ay exposed sa cold fluid. No? Meron din po tayong information sa inner side ng ating wall. So in that case, you have to determine which surface are you going to use in your surface energy balance. Okay? But considering the figure, we have here your energy in and energy out only. Ma'am, bakit po walang energy generated at walang stored energy? Bakit po? Ano po ang answer? Bakit po walang energy? Yan lang po yung ating ano? Ba't po walang energy generated at stored energy? Anyone? Yes, Rafael. Josh.
Dahil po sa surface lang po.
Okay, dahil surface lang ang pinag-uusapan natin. The energy generated and the energy stored would be, they are said to be volumetric phenomena. Okay? So the reason why we will only be considering, ma'am, how to determine what are the inflows and what are the outflows? I mentioned already a while ago what could be your options for the inflows and outflows. So as you see here, ano ba ang pumasok doon sa surface na yon? Ano ba ang data meron tayo? So the data could only be this Q conduction. Okay? And then, for the outside surface, yung ating energy out, since in our figure, there is the fluid, there is the surrounding. Therefore, we will be having your Q convection and your Q radiation. So energy in minus energy out is equal to 0, or simply the rate of inflow is equal to the rate of outflow. So it will just be your Q conduction would be equal to your Q convection plus your Q radiation. Okay po? Ma'am, lagi po bang ganyan ang ating surface energy balance? Hindi po. Ano? It depends. It depends on the situation. It depends on the given conditions to which the surface is exposed to. Kung nandito sa kabilang ito, halimbawa ay sabi ko nga kanina, kung ito po yung ating may hot gas, meron po tayong temperature of, say, the hot gas here, at meron po tayong convection heat transfer coefficient. At ito po ang i-consider nating surface, iba na po ang ating energy balance. Ano? Ang atin pong magiging, say, meron din tayong T-SOR. Kung halimbawa po may, or wala, wag nating lagyan ng T-SOR. Yun lang pong temperature ng atin pong fluid ang nandyan. So, ibig sabihin, ang atin pong energy balance, yung ating energy in will only be due to convection. No? So, it will only be your Q convection would be equal to, ito lang pong Q conduction. No? The heat flux due to convection is equal to the heat flux due to conduction. So you have to analyze what are the modes of heat transfer present. Are there internal energy, potential energy, kinetic energy, flow work that you studied in your thermodynamics? If they are present, then they can be used for your inflows and outflows. Ano pa? So hindi po yan pare-pareho lagi. You have to consider kung ano yung conditions given. No? So yan po yung ating surface energy balance. So let us have the example problem na nandyan po sa inyong module. Ano pong example problem? Meron po tayo. Example problem po written on page 17, example 1.4. Can somebody read po yung pong may module? Please po, read naman yung ating problem. Lance, you have module?
Yes po, ma'am.
Okay, please read example 1.4.
Example 1.4. A long conducting rod of diameter d and electrical resistance per unit length is initially in thermal equilibrium with the ambient air and its surroundings. This equilibrium is disturbed when an electrical current I is passed through the rod. Develop an equation that could be used to compute the variation of the rod temperature with time during the passage of the current. Ma'am, naka-mute po kayo.
Ay, sorry po, naka-mute po pala. Ano? Sige. So, with that problem statement na binasa ni Lance, ano po ang pwede nating ilagay sa ating known? So, ang ating pong problem is not, or wala po tayong given na data. Kaya po ang tinatanong lang sa atin ay equation. So, with that problem statement, ano po ang isusulat natin sa known? Anyone? Ano pong isusulat natin sa known? Kung kayo po ang mag-a-analyze niyang ating problem. Pasuyo po. Yes, Iko. Iko, go ahead.
Meron pong T surroundings and T air and 50 fluid.
Okay, so yung atin pong statement, kasi ang sinabi lang sa kanya ay merong diameter, so prescribed dimension lang pero diameter meron din palang length, no? And then you also have your electrical resistance per unit length, and then there is an electrical current, no? So we are asked to find the equation that governs the temperature change with time for the rod, or simply yung ating the derivative of the temperature with respect to time, no? So yon, andito na yung ating solution. This is just somehow a direct substitution to our energy balance equation. But you need to understand kung ano ba yung formula natin for such. Okay? So ito po yung schematic representation. Binigay naman po natin sa problem yung atin pong schematic representation. And then, since meron pong given na surrounding temperature, fluid temperature, so obviously, there would be the convection and the radiation. There is no given thickness of the, we assume that it is a solid rod. Kaya wala siyang binigay na inner and outer diameter, no? So, assumptions natin is that the temperature of the rod is uniform at any time t. Okay? Kasi nakalagay lang naman po dyan ay t. So we will be assuming that at any time t, the temperature would be uniform. And then, wala din naman pong minention about the properties, especially yung ating mga density, specific heat, yung ating surface emissivity at saka absorptivity. So let us also assume that they are constant. And then, yung ating special case ng radiation heat exchange, that the rod is considered to be a small body, and we have a large enclosure, which is our surroundings. No? So yun po yung ating assumption. And then for our analysis, looking at the diagram po natin or schematic, there is no such energy in. Wala pong nakalagay na energy in. Ang meron po doon is yung current. So yung current, hindi po siya energy in. We will be utilizing yung current para sa energy generation. Diba? Sabi natin kanina, dinefine natin kung ano yung mga possible na energy in. So, ang current, hindi po kasama doon or yung electrical energy. Doon po nakalagay yung electrical energy doon sa energy generation because that is the conversion from some other form such as electrical energy. So, doon po nakapasok si current. Kaya po siya ay EG. Okay? So, sa ang atin pong magiging equation, using our energy balance equation na energy in plus energy generated minus energy out is equal to the rate na wala po ang aking mole dito, rate of stored energy. So we have our energy generated to be using yung pong given na electrical resistance per unit length. Kaya po i-multiply po natin ng length. Di po ba ang energy generated or yung power is I squared R. So, since ang given po na RE natin sa statement po ng problem is per unit length, so minultiply po natin ng length. Okay? So, ayun po. And then, energy generated again is Q times yung ating volume. So, in that case, pag kinuha po natin yung Q, it is simply equal to your I squared RE divided by yung atin pong area. Kasi yun pong ating volume, kumbaga po ay kung i-relate lang po natin yung ating equation na ito. No? Yan. So yung atin pong Q, yung atin pong binigay na equation kanina, so which is this one po, lumalabas po na ito yung ating equation para sa Q, which is in the form of electrical charge. Okay, so yung ating energy out, looking po doon sa ating schematic diagram na nakabigay din po sa inyo, and also looking at this schematic na ginawa ko po, similar lang po naman yan dyan sa nakalagay sa ating module. So what are the modes of heat or what are the sources of your energy out? So yung energy out natin, since there is fluid and there is the surrounding temperature, so we have the two modes, yung ating heat rate, kasi binigay naman po yung diameter at saka yung length, so you can find the area, in which the area is the circumference multiplied, or the surface area po, the circumference times the length. Kaya po pi dl yung ating area. No? So this is your Q convection, yun pong nasa unang term natin. And then we have yung ating Q radiation. Applying yung ating special case ng radiation heat exchange. Okay? So in that case, simplify nyo lang po yung formula. You substitute yung energy generated, yung stored energy, at saka yung energy out, in which we are asked to find yung ating the rate of temperature change. Ito pong ating andito sa left side natin. Ano? So, sinimplify lang po natin yung equation and then we just come up with this. Although there is no numerical data given and we are just asked for the equation, then ito po yung ating equation. But kung meron po tayong binigay na information or data with our example problem, then you can evaluate this value, no? The time, the rate of temperature change. Okay. Now, if you obtain, let us assume na meron tayong value ngayon. If you obtain that the value is equal to 0, then therefore, it is steady state condition. Pero kung siya po ay may value, edi hindi po siya steady state. It is unsteady state because it is not equal to 0. Steady state condition. Okay po? So again, we are just asked for an equation governing the temperature change with the with time for the temperature change with time for the rod, and this is our answer. If in case that there would be some numerical values given, halimbawa binigay yung dimension, binigay po yung convection heat transfer coefficient, naging function lang siya for example ng Ts, di yun po yung ating ibibigay na equation. Okay po? So for our comments in this example problem, ano yung mga pwede nating i-comment? Pwedeng mag-what if tayo. Kung say, lagyan natin siya ng value, then you can compute. Or again nga, yun pong pagsabi natin ng value ng the time rate of temperature change, that if it is equal to 0, then it is steady state. Otherwise, it is unsteady state. Okay? So, ayun po yung ating example 1.4. Punta po tayo sa ating example 1.5. But before that, any question po or clarifications from the class? May tanong po tayo? Naintindihan po ba yung ating pinag-usapan? Kasi yan po ay energy balance. Pag hindi po natin yan naintindihan sa mga susunod po nating topics, ay mahirapan po tayo. Question po or clarifications? Wala po. Okay. So, naintindihan po. Makikireact naman po kung atin pong naintindihan ang ating mga pinag-uusapan. Okay. Sige po. Punta po tayo sa ating next example. Somebody read po yung ating example. JC. JC nga ba?
Yes, po.
Okay, please read example 1.5.
The hot combustion gases of a furnace are separated from the ambient air and its surroundings, which are at 25 degrees Celsius by a brick wall 0.25 meters thick. The brick has a thermal conductivity of 1.2 watts per meter squared Kelvin and surface emissivity of 0.8. Under steady state conditions, an outer surface temperature of 100 degrees Celsius is measured. Pre-convection heat transfer to the air adjoining the surface is characterized by a coefficient of H is equals to 25 watts per meter squared Kelvin. What is the brick inner surface temperature?
Okay, thank you, JC. Okay. So please take note pala, may nakasulat po tayo sa page 19 ng ating module, yung methodology that you need to remember when you are going to apply the conservation laws. So number 1, you have to define the appropriate control volume and represent the control surface by a dash line or lines. Number 2 is you identify the appropriate time basis. Third one is to identify the relevant energy processes and show each process on the control volume by appropriately labeled arrow. No, kagaya nung sa schematic diagram natin kanina. And then after that, you write the conservation equation and substitute the appropriate rate expressions for the relevant terms in the equation. No? So dapat alam natin kung ano yung i-identify nating inflows, ano yung formula natin sa energy generated, meaning dapat alam din natin ano ba yung other forms of energy present that can be converted into thermal energy, because that is energy generation. And lastly is yung formula natin ng stored energy. Okay? So with that example problem, example 1.5, yung atin pong statement, how are you going to write yung ating known? So ang known po natin dito is, ang sabi, merong hot combustion gas separated from the ambient air. Okay? By a brick wall of prescribed thickness. So pwede mo ring banggitin nung binanggit mo si ambient air, temperature, convection heat transfer coefficient, and surface condition. No? Kasi binigay din po na sabi ay ang surrounding daw ay kapareho din ng air temperature. And we are also given of the brick properties such as thermal conductivity and surface emissivity. Pwede mo ring banggitin yung steady state condition para hindi mo na siya ilalagay sa assumption. Pero kung halimbawa na isulat na natin, hindi natin nabanggit yung steady state condition, pwede natin pong ilagay pa rin siya sa assumption. Okay po? Ayun. And then find ay binigay din po pala, sorry, nalimutan ko po yung surface temperature. Again po, pag nag-i-state tayo ng known, gawin natin na magkakasama yung magkakagroup. Halimbawa, binanggit natin si air fluid temperature. Di kung may given po na convection heat transfer coefficient, isama na po natin sa kanya. Okay? So, ayun po. And then, schematic po natin, find po ay brick inner surface temperature. So, pwedeng lagyan nyo po siya ng notation. It's up to you kung ang gagamitin natin ay TI, T1, or whatever. Kung ano man po yung i-represent nyo doon sa brick inner temperature, surface inner temperature, pwede rin pong TSI, no? Yun po ang ilalagay natin or i-reflect natin in your schematic diagram. Okay? So, let me have this schematic representation. So, nilagay ko lang po dito yung ating thickness ng ating wall. Okay? Meron po siyang thermal conductivity. Yung surface po niya, merong emissivity. No? Tapos po, ano to? And then, yun pong given with regard to the proper sa air natin, yung temperature, convection heat transfer coefficient, at saka sa surrounding. Okay. Sabi po, hot gas separated separated ng air, sa air, by the brick wall. Kaya po ganyan ang hitsura ng ating diagram. Ano? Sa atin po example problem, wala po talagang binigay na schematic. So, tayo po talaga ang maggagawa ng schematic. Okay? So, ayan. Andyan na po. Now, sabi dun sa ating methodology na binasa ko a while ago, you have to identify kung alin ba yung control surface. So, nilagyan po natin ng dash line. I explained it to you a while ago kung paano po natin ina-identify. So kung alin po yung may information or data. Nothing was given about the hot gas. So wala po tayong information na makukuha about sa hot gas. So we will not be choosing the inner surface of the wall. We consider the outer surface of the wall as your surface for your energy balance. Kaya po yun po yung may dash line. Also in the methodology, we are to identify the relevant energy processes and we have to show them by labeled arrows. Kaya yun pong aking tatlong arrows dyan, referring to yung ating energy in at saka po yung ating energy out. Consisting of the heat flux due to conduction, convection, and radiation respectively. Nagets po yung ating schematic? Okay. Sige po. Then, assumptions po natin. Again, sinama ko lang po ulit yung steady state condition kasi kahapon po nung in-state ko yung known, hindi ko po nasabi yung steady state. Okay? Pero again po, kung inilagay nyo na po sa known, huwag na po natin ilagay sa assumptions. We assume also constant properties kasi binigay naman po yung property. We also assume one-dimensional in x direction. We assume gray surface because there is no absorptivity but given only is the emissivity. We assume that the radiation heat exchange is between a small surface enclosed by a large surroundings. Or it can be a small surface with large enclosure. Yun naman po ay statement lang, pero yun po ang ibig sabihin din. Same lang po yung ating meaning but different statement. Okay? Next po natin is yung ating analysis. So, since ang hinahanap po sa atin is, ang representation ko po dito sa ating figure ay itong TI, ay, ba't ayaw niyang, ito pong ating, ba't ayaw? Ayaw po sumulat. Ba't may, po? Ba't ba nakaganon yun? Hindi po alam na wala po yung pansulat. Ayun. Rainbow. Ano ba yun? Laser pointer pala yun. Sige po. Ba't ayaw naman niyang umano yung laser? Ay, whatsoever. Sige po. Ayan. No? So sa atin pong analysis, since ito pong TI yung hinahanap, alin pong mode ng heat transfer mai-involve si TI? Anyone po? Or which yes, Samson.
Sa conduction po ba?
Okay, sa conduction. Because sabi natin sa Fourier's law, pag tinignan natin itong ating schematic diagram, ano po ang formula na ilalagay natin sa, so yung ating energy balance, clear po tayo ha? Energy in po is Q conduction, energy out, Q convection at Q radiation. Okay. Ano po ang formula para sa heat flux due to conduction? Sige, Samson, go ahead.
Heat flux due to conduction is equals to A times T1 minus T2 over L po.
Wala naman akong T1 at T2 dyan sa aking schematic. Ano ang meron ako? Nakikita nyo ba ng ayos yung aking symbol na ginamit? There is no T1 and T2 in the schematic. Yun ang isa nating sinasabi. Kung ano yung nasa schematic, yun din ang dapat na nasa analysis. No? So, ang ginamit ko po ay TI at saka TO. So, dapat pag isinulat natin sa analysis, it should be heat flux due to conduction is K times TI minus TO based on my schematic. But baka sa iyong pagkakagawa ng schematic, Samson, baka naman nga T1 at T2 ang kanyang ginamit. So, ayun po. Basta ang atin pong, hindi po ako strict doon sa pagdating sa designation natin ng kung ano yung ginamit nyo. Basta, it should be provided na kung ano yung ilalagay mo sa schematic, yun ang gamitin mo sa analysis. Kasi nga, possibly, some of you may use I and O to designate inner and outer. Some of you may use 1 and 2. Or some of you may use TSI and TSO. So, kung ano lang po yung ginamit sa schematic, yun din ang ilagay sa analysis. Kasi baka mamaya yung TI at TO sa kabilang katabi nakita. Yung T1 at T2 sa kanang katabi nakita. Tapos yung TSI minus TSO, meron pang nasa unahan. Okay? Eh yung nasa likod, lumingon pa nga sa likod, iba pa rin. Kaya hindi maintindihan, naglabo-labo na. Pagdating sa analysis, hindi mo alam saan ba ito kinuha. Iba't iba yung kanyang nakalagay. So you focus on your own schematic diagram. Okay? Basically, pag nag-check ako ng solution ng heat transfer problem, I check first the schematic representation because it is impossible for you to analyze it correctly if your schematic diagram is not correct. No? Kasi dyan lang po tayo magbabase ng ating analysis. Kung mali po yan, ay natural. Paano tatama ang iyong analysis kung mali yan? Halimbawa, ang nilagay mo dyan na energy in ay convection, radiation. Eh wala naman tayong pagkukuhanan ng energy in unless baligtad yung iyong arrow representation. No? Okay? Sige po. Sunod po tayo. Ano po yung ating heat flux due to convection? Sino pang mga narito sa class? Wait lang, akin lang pong palakihin itong ating meeting. Eric Michael, ano ang heat flux due to convection?
Yun po yung heat convection coefficient po na H po times yung pong T sub 0 po minus temperature po ng fluid.
Okay. Yun, TO yung aking representation ha, dahil outer surface. But anyway, kung T0 yung kanyang basa, yun po yun. Ano? And then, ano pa po yung ating heat flux due to radiation? Emmanuel Gerard, ano po ang ating heat flux due to radiation?
Ang heat flux po due to radiation is heat flux is equal to
emissivity
times Stefan Boltzmann constant times TO raised to 4 minus P surroundings raised to 4 po.
Okay. So, ayan po yung ating formula. Ano? So, ayan. Ano ko na po dito yung aking sinulat. Okay? So, ayan po yung mga minention ng ating classmate para po sa formula ng ating energy in at saka energy out. So, with that po, you substitute all the given information. Ano? Hindi ko po alam kung tama yan. Binigay lang po yan ng class. Ayan, dalawa po yung binigay kahapon ng aking mga student. So sa inyo po, let us see kung ano yung value ninyong makuha. So you substitute all the values and you find TI. Pasuyo po, kayo na po ang mag-substitute. Hindi ko na po ipapakita dito. So this is our formula. Again po, before substituting, try to simplify first the equation para po hindi pa ulit-ulit ang inyong pagsusulat. Sige po, I give you a few minutes for this. If you have values na po, makilagay na lang po sa chat box. Oh, si Lance lang ba ang nakakuha ng value? O ba't kayo magkakaiba? Ganun din ang nakuha nung kabilang magkaiba. Sige nga, tingnan pa natin. Meron pong ngayon, sige nga, anong tamang value? Hinahanap lang po ay TI. Bakit magkakaiba pa? Sige po, more values po. And please verify po yung inyong ginawang solution. Kunin nyo muna yung simplified equation, di ba? Magiging yung nasa right side, ita times natin ng L, i-divide ng K. Tapos ipa-plus natin yung TO. Sige, more values. Wala lang po akong dalang calculator kaya hindi ko po ma-press dito sa aking Pero direct substitution lang naman po. Sino yung nakakuha ng 491? Joseph? Ano ba to? Joses talaga?
Joses, ma'am. Ma'am, pala? May
Joses,
mali ako doon. Nakalimutan ko mag-add ng 273 po kaya nag-491 lang po.
Okay. So, okay na ngayon? 599 na?
Yes po, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Sino po mga nakakuha ng 599? Please raise your hand po. Makikiraise na lang po ng hand para makita ko kung everybody po ay nakakuha na ng value. Huwag niyo po munang ibaba para kita ko po kung ang 40, ilan nga kayo, 44, ay naka-obtain po ng values. Huwag pong makikigaya na basta lang tataas ng kamay ha. So as of now, 35, 36 po. So I hope the others who did not raise their hands ay later ay masusolve nyo rin po yung ating sample problem and you will obtain the same value. Okay? So ayun po. That would be the example problem po natin para sa ating energy balance po. Now, proceed po tayo sa ating last topic, which is about, yun pong ating, wait lang ha,
hindi ko tuloy pag-upload kasi
yung atin pong process identification. So process identification po. This is very important part of our introductory concepts on heat transfer because if you cannot identify correctly the processes involved or the modes of heat transfer present, then the succeeding steps in the methodology will also be incorrect. No? So you need to identify. Madali lang naman pong i-identify kung anong meron, di ba? Naturo ko na po sa inyo before, kailan may conduction, kailan may convection, at kailan may radiation. Okay. So let us have this example on the process identification. Yung example po natin, imaginein po natin na meron po tayong heated room. Okay? So heated room po yan. No? So, we want to investigate on the effect kung ang gagamitin lang po natin ay single pane or yung double pane window. No? So, imaginein po natin yung ating figure na nandyan. Yung pong nasa taas ay double pane window, yung nasa baba ay single pane window. So, ano ang construction ng ating single pane? So, yung single pane, yung inner surface ng ating pane ay exposed po sa room air. And again po, yung room ay heated. So, mas mataas po yung temperature dito sa room compared po doon sa labas. So it is made of, say, a certain material, no? Solid po yan. Or, that is a certain thickness po, itong ating window pane. Okay? And then, yung kanya pong outer surface ay exposed po sa ambient temperature at saka sa surrounding conditions. Kukompare po natin siya sa double pane window. So, sa double pane po, ito naman po yung construction. No? So, kagaya po nung single pane, yung tig-isa, na nilagyan lang po natin ng spaces in between. So, ito pong nasa gitna ay meron pong airspace, no? Meron pong airspace in between the two panes. Pero yung pong first pane at saka second pane, prescribed thickness and property po na thermal conductivity. Okay, so if we are now to determine the different modes of heat transfer or the processes involved in considering the comparison of single pane and double pane window, how are we going to identify those processes? So the number of panes in a window can strongly influence the heat loss from a heated room to the outside ambient air. So we are asked to compare the single and the double pane units shown in the figure by identifying the relevant heat transfer processes for each case. Okay? So ayun po yung ating condition. Dahil konti na lang po yung ating time, ako na lang po ang mag-present nung solution natin. Okay, so ito po yung ating solution. Comparing po yung single pane at saka yung double pane window. So yun pong ating QS, parang yun po yung ating irradiation or the incident radiation coming from, say, the source. Okay? So, dun po muna tayo sa single pane. So, ma'am, bakit po ganyan yung arrow representation? Kasi nga, sinabi ko po kanina na heated po yung ating room. So, the temperature, the heat transfer flow would be from the room going to the outside. So, yan po yung single pane. So, pag maglalagay po tayo ng process identification, you need to represent them by arrow diagram and you need to define. Hindi po pwedeng basta nakalagay dyan. So, you need to define ano yung Q convection 1, Q conduction 1, Q radiation 1. So, you identify po, magsimula tayo sa loob. Okay? So, saan naka-expose ang inner surface ng single pane? So, doon po yun sa Q convection dahil merong room air at merong surface. Meron din pong radiation kasi merong surrounding temperature doon sa loob ng ating room. Sunod po tayo, punta tayo sa thickness ng material na ginamit sa pane or sa single pane. Kung meron pong thickness, magkaiba po ang temperature ng inner and outer surface. Ano pong merong mode? Ano pong meron? Ivan Earl.
Yes, ma'am.
Anong meron kapag ang outside surface at inner surface ay magkaiba tapos merong thickness ng wall? Solid siya, ibig sabihin. Anong mode ng heat transfer?
Conduction po.
Conduction, parang hindi ka pa sure. Hindi ka sure sa iyong sagot. Conduction, kasi nga pinag-usapan natin is yung solid body. Okay? Ngayon, ayan po yung Q conduction na nakalagay dito sa ating figure. Ito, ano? Ay, ano po, sorry po. Nagkamali po ng pindot. Sorry lang po. Okay. Sunod po natin. Ano? So, ito po yung ating Q conduction. Itong arrow po natin ito. Okay? Sunod po, punta po tayo sa labas na surface. Expose po siya sa ambient conditions at sa surrounding conditions. Ano pong mode ng heat transfer meron? Kapag po may surface at saka fluid, Samson.
Convection po ba, ma'am?
Okay, thank you. Next, kapag ka merong surface at merong surroundings, Emmanuel.
Radiation po, ma'am.
Okay, so ito po yun yung convection at saka yung radiation. So ito po yung ating arrow representation ng different processes involved sa single pane. Ngayon, pagdating po natin ng double pane, so pareho lang po ito, itong single pane, first pane at saka second pane. Ano lang po yung pinagkaiba sa kanila? Since nagkaroon po tayo ng space in between, okay? Ang nakalagay po natin sa atin dito sa ating solution ay Q convection S at saka Q radiation S. Wala pong problem sa radiation kasi isa lang po talaga yon kasi itong surface na ito at itong surface na ito merong spaces in between. Yung Q convection, possible na meron kayong variation dyan ng pagkakabigay ng arrow representation. Kasi ang definition dito ng Q convection is the convection heat transfer between the fluid and the surfaces. Pero pwede mo siyang paghiwalayin. Anong ibig ko sabihin? Dahil magkaiba yung temperature nung outer surface nung first pane at saka fluid at saka yung fluid at yung inner surface ng second pane. Possibly some of you ang ibibigay sa ating diagram ay ganito. Yan. At saka ito. Okay? Pag yan ang ginamit nyo, halimbawa, ilagay mo ay Q convection 1 ng surface. At pwede rin Q convection 2 ng surface. Or, pwedeng dire-diretso po yung numbering. Q convection 1, ito pong isa ay Q convection 2, Q convection 3, Q convection 4. Whatever you put in your process identification using the arrow representation, kailangan mo pong i-define. So, ang definition ko po ng Q convection 1S ay convection heat transfer from the outer surface of the first pane and the air. Kasi may airspace po, sinabi ko kanina. And then yung atin pong Q convection 2S ay convection heat transfer from the fluid to the inner surface of the second pane. So, mamali po ba yung nandyan sa inyong unay pong pinresent? Hindi po mali yan. Pareho po silang tama. Depende nga po sa inyong pagkaka-define. So, kumbaga po, itong Q convection is actually the sum of your Q convection 1S and Q convection 2S. Sinimplify lang po natin dyan sa atin pong unang figure. So, kahit po alin dyan ang inyong i-present, but you need to define them correctly. Okay po? So, ayun po. That is the last part po ng ating chapter 1. So, I hope that the introduction of heat transfer is clear to you so that you will be able also to understand the succeeding chapters of our course. No? So, next meeting po, we will proceed to chapter 2. Chapter 2 po will be focusing on the heat diffusion equation of the Cartesian coordinates and the radial system. So, review, partial differentiation, no? Yun po yung kailangan natin. Partial differentiation. Those who have the module, please read the next chapter. Sa mga wala pong module, you may search po online or baka po may mga e-books kayo or you can go to the library to read something about the heat diffusion equation for Cartesian and radial system. Okay po tayo doon? May question po or clarifications? question, clarifications po? Okay. Kung wala po, paki-open po ng ating cameras. At ako po ay mag-screenshot ng atin pong attendance. Did you learn po something new today? Ay wala. Wala kayong natutunan. Makikireact po ng mga may natutunan ngayong araw na ito. O maaring hindi nyo sa inyo. Ano? Sige. Okay po, at a count of 3, 1 screenshot for our attendance. But ayaw nyo mag-open lahat ng camera? At a count of 3, 1, 2, and 3. Isa pa pong screenshot. In 1, 2, and 3. Okay po. Sige. With that, I thank you and see you next meeting. Face-to-face. Finally, makaka-face-to-face. Okay po, on week 4. Sige. Please review ha. At magbasa ng kaunti dyan sa ating module or sa ebook. Okay, bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you po, ma'am.
Thank you po, ma'am.
Thank you po, ma'am.